the right to demonstration and picketing enshrined in Article 37. Lastly, the legislation should specifically address and provide mechanism to bar political leaders who lead violent demonstrations from vying from any further elective position. Further, the legislation should mandate the organizers of the demonstration to gazette the venue, time, and reason for picketing. The legislation should provide measures that will ensure the leaders and organizers of violent demonstrations, which may occasion destruction of property and loss of life, to be held liable. These will encourage sanity and order in our political class. That is our submission as Kenya Kwanza.
Thank you, SG. I think you're done, and thank you very much. I only want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
In the case of the office of the official of the leader of opposition, should that person sit in the Senate or in the National Assembly?
For purposes,
or outside?
No, just note down. And I've got a follow-up question. Save for about 2 or so words that you uttered. I hope you could listen to me.
Okay.
SG, can listen to Wandai.
Yes, I was getting worried because in the memorandum that you alluded to, that was sent to Parliament, and in your written memorandum here.
Not have a written memorandum.
What is this? Sorry.
No, that's yours.
No, let's be orderly.
We haven't. That's not.
Okay, so we ignore this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Chair. Our staff have circulated a memo. It bears your name.
I started by saying we do not have a written memorandum. We will do oral submissions.
But what is this?
Yeah, and this was occasioned by the contents of your letter. You told us to come and make oral presentation.
Fair enough.
So we ignore this.
Ignore. Please.
Okay.
We take this as a strange document.
Very strange. Very
that
strange.
found its way here strangely.
Very strange.
Thank you. Now, I was actually going to ask you, why are you not as emphatic on the position of the proposed position of Prime Cabinet Secretary as you are on the position of leader of official opposition? It is curious that even this document, which I have now refused to, I will not now refer to, you seem not to be emphasizing the creation of that office, contrary to perceptions that have been in the public domain. Could it be as a result of the fears?
No.
No, relax. Could it be as a result of the fears that from some quarters, that this office, if created or if entrenched in the Constitution, is going to water down the power and influence of the office of the Deputy President? And could this perhaps be the cause of the incessant anti-dialogue outbursts out there? Finally, what is your take on the issue of the taxes which were brought about by the Finance Act? And very finally, Umoko Milemba, if I heard you right, I think this is the SG of Kenya. That you support that
Chair,
you support.
Chair, I'm the SG of.
Okay, fine. I was referring to my friend, the SG of Kenya, Yechikati.
Yes.
That you support the strengthening of political parties.
Yes.
Okay? I suppose within and without the coalitions. What is your take on the clamor for collapsing of political parties to form bigger entities? Yeah.
Very good question.
Honorable Chair, on the issue of the leader of opposition, we propose that he sits in government in National Assembly so that he can be able to oversight the government ably. Second, on the issue of being emphatic on the entrenchment of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, I think first it was because of time. Second is a matter of semantics. We started by saying that we draw our wisdom from the contents encapsulated in the memorandum from the President to the National Assembly. So whatever the contents are encapsulated in that memorandum, we share the same wisdom.
Chair,
That memorandum doesn't have the proposal to entrench the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Yeah. Yeah. Proceed.
which memorandum, Honorable Chair?
The one that was sent to the President, to the National Assembly. Yeah.
Or whichever way, we, as Secretary General has said, we strongly support the entrenchment of the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary into the Constitution. And we had an array of notes on this. But of course, due to time, we may have not done so much. But we stand for it. And this will help in to create liaison and supervision, which is a pivotal role within the Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet. So we strongly stand for it and we support it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our position on the parties is that we propose the strengthening of individual parties as key pillars to strong coalitions. Anything outside that proposal is a clamor which I don't understand. So we stand for that, and nobody is outside that. Thank you so much.
It might help SG to make a comment on that, the political party position of UDA in regards to that issue.
Can you take it together with my question?
Yes.
So that he...
Yes, Senator Aaron.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to the presentation from Kenya Kwanza. In the presentations and submissions that have been made to us on the particular topic of audit of the 2022 presidential election, I heard you say that the position of Kenya Kwanza is that this matter is closed and done with, in the sense that it was concluded at the Supreme Court. However, there are people who've come before us, and in their presentation, they have said that is a political view in response to a political question raised by Azimio. Because our understanding, which I want to believe is the same matter that you're responding to, is that they are contesting the election result. However, many people, including the church, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to NCCK present, and so many people that have come before us, have told us, have a broader view of this issue. Look at it as an audit of our electoral process, which results are just part and parcel of. That there is a bigger perspective through which you can have a view to making our electoral processes better. What are the issues that have arisen, matters of contestation over every electoral cycle, and how that can better prepare us for the next electoral cycle. If that was made to be your understanding of what an audit will be, will you still maintain the same view that that matter is concluded, or you would agree with those that are requesting this committee to have a broader view of this matter? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, before
you go, we still have comments. Chair, I think I want to go next. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Kenya Kwanza, for your presentations. My simple question is, what is your take on these errand elected officers or members of either county assembly or even the National Assembly who are errand, and they don't even conform with the party, maybe constitution or ideologies? What is your take on them? And secondly, Madam Senator, it's on the 2/3 gender rule. You gave us almost a blanket statement about the government or the parliament having not conformed to implementing. But I wanted you to be a bit specific. Do you have any specific measures and ways which we can use to get to this 2/3 gender rule? Like other parties have been coming here, the public service was here with their team. They gave us suggestions. Gidu was here. He also mentioned even about scrubbing the women rep seat and maybe creating something else. Do you have anything specific that you can recommend to this committee? Thank you.
Mine, Chair, is just a comment.
Yes.
They might choose to answer it in a different way, but because also this committee is conscious that part of us are Kenya Kwanza and the other parties Azimio, I think the fact that we've participated in our full element, Opio and I, is testimony that what you call outbursts are just opinions and that we continue to support this process fully, including its outcomes.
Thank you. Please respond, and we'll give you 3 minutes to just respond quickly to those issues.
Chair, we will try to respond in 3 minutes, questions that were asked in 9 minutes. Okay. we will abide, Chair. Chair, I will start on the issue of whether the issue of whether we agree that we should audit the process of the elections. Our position is that we can open up on the issue of auditing the process, and that is a mandate that is given to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And therefore, I think that goes without any opposition that as Kenya Kwanza, we agree. And since we are a democratic country, we can audit the process. We look into areas which we can improve as a country, because elections are supposed to be transparent and in a manner that people can be participating in the formulation of the rules of the election. Second, on the issue that you raised about strengthening of political parties, I want to strongly agree with the Secretary General of the Ford Kenya that let us strengthen political parties, because we fought so much in this country. We shed blood to achieve the multi-party democracy. And therefore, our position is that let us strengthen political parties. But the big question is, how do you strengthen your political party? You strengthen by recruiting members. So if in an instance you can recruit members from a particular political party to a point whereby that political party is no longer viable, you can decide to take up the entire membership of a political party and bring to your... So strengthening, you must strengthen your political party by recruiting members. And that is our position, that let us strengthen, let us compete, and that is multi-democracy that we fought for. On the issue of errant MPs going against their party positions, I think we already have a legislative framework on that. The Political Parties Act is very clear. It's just a matter of enactment. So, Honorable Wambilianga, enforcement.
It's already enacted.
Enforcement. So it's just a matter of enforcement. So that has already been provided for in the Political Parties Act and other related legislation.
Conclude, SG.
1 minute before he concludes, Chair.
Yes.
On the issue of political parties, we as a coalition are very much aware about where we came from in terms of the one-party state. And like we said correctly, we want to strengthen the political parties. And let me further indicate that we also, this is what I wanted to bring out, that also coalitions, we also need to strengthen development of coalitions that can actually purpose to drive a certain area. And that's the experience even we had in America. What you now call the strong parties in America is a whole history of ideologies of small conglomerations that came together to form what they are today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Just to know from you, this is a national dialogue initiative.
Yes.
And you are sitting on different divides. Why can't you mix? Thank you.
Food for thought. That's food for thought.
Thank you, Chair. I think we will be ungrateful if we left this sitting without congratulating the committee. You've made Kenya proud, because in the history of Kenya, this is the first time you are seeing different divides, political divides, sitting together, having a dialogue. And I think this is the Kenya we want to see. The other Kenya where we came from, we don't want to go back into those trenches. We want to see a Kenya which is united. And I suggest, Honorable Chair, that in the forthcoming Mashujaa Day, you guys should be celebrated. we should give you accolades for bringing Kenya together. Now we have a peaceful country, and we want to encourage that we continue with that. Thank you.
We appreciate. Thank you. Thank you, Kenya Kwanza. We appreciate you and your presentations. Asanteni. The next
Federation of Kenya.
Federation.